individual services will have their own responsibilities. So for
Mm-hmm.
example, if we are talking about cart, so cart is basically a different application itself. Their responsibility is totally different. Whereas the other application we can say as a digital asset. So digital asset as in what we say as the file upload system, where vendor can actually upload the file
Mm-hmm.
about the images, PDFs about that item, then description of that item, then 360-degree what we have. So all this thing is basically independent service we can actually create it. And combinedly, when we'll combine this all applications, this will create a one ecosystem. So what happens is, if just take an example, if we are making all these things in a different application, and they communicate through Kafka or through APIs, that will make our work very easy. Because if there is some issue with cart application, we need not to touch our digital asset or any other product related application. So that is the biggest advantage what we have in the microservice. The same way it is a disadvantage as well. Just take an example, there is a common issue. So in
Okay.
this scenario, if it is a, like recently we have a logger one, so it's a common issue for each and every application. So
Mm-hmm.
because of that SLF4J, the common changes we need to do for all the applications. So in this scenario, the developers has to do the more work. So that is first thing. Second thing is we only have to go to microservice architecture if it is like there is a requirement. So it is not like there is a very small application and still we are trying for microservice architecture. So that is a wrong approach. Second is the resources what microservices are using. So the resource wise, if we are going, it will utilize most resources as compared to monolithic applications. So that is the second disadvantage which we have in microservice.
Okay, so suppose if you are saying that these are the as you told me that these are maybe the some disadvantages of using. So if you just get any opportunity to remove any of the any of the disadvantages as you said,
Okay.
so how you will remove that? Means what technique you will use or what logic you will build for removing that thing?
So removing as in I didn't get it. As in if we wanted to remove the
Means
disadvantage of any
suppose
service.
there are two services and one of the service get shut down or some kind of a issue with that or delayed time lagging some whatever so there could be any solution for that no that it could be a solution for maintaining that thing, so load balancing could be easy for with that. So that's what my question is, how you will, what logic you will implement to resolve that issue.
So basically, one of the biggest what we can do is an event driven architecture. We can actually go ahead. So instead of using the API calls and all this thing, what we can do is we can use Kafka calls for that. Okay, so that is one of the biggest change what we can do, because anyhow if one of the application is down or anything is happening with one of the microservice, still we will
Uh-huh.
have the log for our messages, that this all messages are there. We need to process this all messages into our queue. So that is first
Mhm.
thing, is if it is possible we should go ahead with event driven thing. Second is
Mhm.
about in the microservice architecture itself, there is one architecture what we say as I'm not able to recall the name. So there I'm not able to recall the name. So there what we do is we basically scale the system. Scale as in, like just take an example, if there is one node which is down, or if there is a load on the one node. So in this scenario, what we can do is it can actually scale the one of the service, and it will just deploy one node again. So there the load balancer will do what it will do is, instead of sending the request to the one system, it will start sending to it the two different nodes. So it will equally divide the load. That is the second thing which we can go ahead, I think. That
Okay.
those So scaling will be done according to the load. So that is the approach what I think we should follow. So if there is a
Oh.
lot of load is there, we can actually scale up the application. If load is a little bit late, sorry, little
Mhm.
bit less, then we can actually scale down it. And third thing is what we follow in lows is in reactive programming. So whenever it is required, just do the async call, whatever. Like just take an example about the Kafka itself. So Kafka is not required to be a real time. It can be actually async. So we make all this type of calls as an async call to make it more lighter weight and to make it as a real time fast application.
So Kafka is for the messaging purpose you
Correct,
have used, na?
correct. Yeah.
Okay. So so other than Kafka, you used JMS or something or
No,
RabbitMQ?
no.
Okay, so you are already working with the Kafka only.
Yes, yes, correct. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so can you just little me brief about any problem that you have faced while developing or working on a project, and what exactly you have done with that problem to taken out for the from that solution of that problem. So can you just little me brief about that?
Okay,
What
so
exactly that is the problem you were facing at the development?
yeah, so the recently I would say there is a problem in our application. There was a problem in our application. So that is something like there is a team called taxonomy. So I'll just try to explain you the problem, and then I will try to explain you the approach which we followed. So there is
Mm-hmm.
one application that is called an taxonomy. So which basically has the header part. So header as in, just take an example. There are different rows into each and every application. Okay, and those rows can be dynamic. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and out of those rows, just take so I work with digital asset team. So that digital asset basically deals with all the PDFs, images, and everything related to 360 and videos related to each and every item. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
for us, each and every item will have its category, and according to that category, it can have some mandatory digital assets. So just take an example. There
Mm-hmm.
is some items which are Prop 65 enabled. So Prop 65 as in which can actually create cancer in a person. So there they need to provide a PDF that is mandatory. So that is kind of what we have. So those things we are only going to get from taxonomy API calls. Okay, and we had around 1 lakh of data into our system. So 1 lakh of
Mm-hmm.
items into our system. So whenever we wanted to fetch whatever mandatory slots are required for each and every category, in this scenario what we need to do is, and as an item basis we need to call one by one for each and every item, because for
Okay.
1 lakh item we need to find what are the mandatory slots available for each and every category. So what we did is the solution, so instead of calling it 1 lakh time for to taxonomy, what we did is we minimize the solution, and and we did as in we created one set of all the categories. So this taxonomy API is based on categories. So we created the set from that list of 1 lakh items, and out of those categories, we'll just take an example. We have 500 categories for those 1 lakh items. So we have
Mm-hmm.
removed around around um, um, around a lakh calls to taxonomy, just by
Mm-hmm.
bifurcate, like just by creating one category set, where we will get the unique categories and we'll just call for those, and according to those category we will just fill the mandatory slots, whatever the required mandatory assets which are required for those categories. So this is how we actually solve the problem. We have make that system better as a part of performance. So that is
Okay.
one of the thing which we did recently.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, so talking about Java 8.
Mhm.
Okay, so can you just tell me some of the main features in Java 8?
So Java 8 basically one of the best feature it has is lambda expression, so that enables the functional programming. Then second is about adding the default and static methods into a interface. Then the third
Okay.
is, because of this lambda expression, we have a feature called functional interfaces as well. Then we have date
Mm-hmm.
and time API, and then there are few more as well. But these are
Okay.
the major
So
ones. Yeah.
suppose okay, so in date API, suppose I have given you two dates.
Yeah.
Okay. This is 1st of August 2021 and 31st December 2021. So I need to find how many days are between these two given dates. So using date API, how you will find that?
So in the date API, they have given inbuilt functions for that. So there is a function I think called difference in date, something like that. I don't remember the function name, but there is an inbuilt function which is already there. So what we need to do is we just need to pass the date function, date objects, both the date objects, and it will return us the number of difference between the number of both the dates, so that it will return directly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Uh, what is the difference between find any and find all in stream APIs?
Find any and find all. Okay, so I think find any is going to So according to the condition, find any can actually randomly take any of the one value and will return this, just return that value from the stream. Whereas find all
Hmm.
will find all the um, uh, uh, whatever condition we are searching for all the conditions, whatever elements which matches that condition, it will return that list of those elements, I think.
Okay. Okay. Sandeep, suppose you have an array list. You have created an array list, in fact.
Hmm.
Okay. So if you have created an array list and it is of integer type, fine.
Yeah, yeah,
And you have inserted 5 elements into that array list.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Now you know, need to set your array list as immutable, that no further element can be added after in after 5 elements as
okay,
you have added earlier.
okay.
Okay, so how you will protect or how will you set your array list as immutable?
Okay, so I think the first approach which we will do is we will create that array list as in no, we cannot create that array list as final, otherwise we will not be able to change that as well. Okay, so the best approach what I can think of is, so we will have one class which will have this array list, and we have already added everything there, correct? All the integers.
Can you just demonstrate with a given test example
Sorry, I
by
didn't.
sharing your screen?
Yeah, sure.
I'm saying that can you just give me an example how you will do that by sharing your screen?
Yeah, sure, I will. Yeah, just give me a moment. Don't know what is the issue with my touch. Will Notepad plus plus work for you?
You can use any IDE, whatever, or the online Java compiler. You can go with
Okay,
any
I
there.
think Java compiler will be better. I'll just. Oh, I have not shared the screen. Sorry, I'll just share the screen. Just let me know once you're able to see the screen.
Uh, yeah, now it is visible. Yeah, correct.
Why this is. So, okay. Yeah, so here. So, this is an array list. Stop integer. Now, we'll just add a. Copy. Okay. So now this is the array list. I will just do one thing. I will just add it into the. Create one. don't have to. So the array which we are creating to the new user, that also he should not be able to
Yes, yeah,
implement at
correct,
the.
correct, 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 correct.
Okay, okay, okay. So in this scenario we have private list, correct? Okay. Just if we are creating final, then we will not be able to mm, this array distance. Okay, okay, yeah, got it. Okay, so just yeah, I think that should work for us. So basically we have created a private array list which will only going to get um, accessed within the class. That is the first thing. Then there is one method which I've created which will return the list of integer. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
adding the values, the array list into this. So in the method itself we can actually create different method for that as well, but for the
Can you just compile the program
okay, yeah, I just need to call this method now.
while and run the program?
Yeah, sure, sure, yeah. And then system and then dot get my okay, sorry, I forgot to add this. Okay, so I think we need to add import as well here. Not sure if import is going to work. Java star. I will just use star for now. Variable get array. Okay, sorry. This is the method. Yeah. So if I try to, I will just do one thing, just one experiment I will do. So that
Hmm.
is,
Just
I
try to add a new object.
yeah, yeah, I'm just doing that. Yeah. Array list integer arr equal to. Okay, I will just try to add it here. Then arr dot add 5. Then I will just let's just try if this works or not. cannot be converted. Oh, huh? List. Okay, sorry. This should be list of. I'll just keep it as list of integer for now. Yeah, we are able to add it here. Okay.
So that's the thing where I want to set that nobody can add new further element into this. Suppose I now you get the question.
Yeah, yeah. So if I okay, so one thing is what I can think of is in collections we have the collections we have I think immutable. Um, there is one method I'm not able to recall it. I think collections dot get immutable. No, think immutable list or something immutable table list. I think this actually returns the list which is basically immutable. Okay, so if I do something like this and if I return it, I'm not sure about the method name, but I am very much sure that there is one class because there is one method to get list, map, and set as well. So I think this is the one. Let's just try method immutable. Nah, get immutable or something. Now I'm not able to recall that method name. So sorry for that.
Okay, okay, no issues. Okay. Suppose I need to create any non-web application through Spring Boot. So how can I do that?
Non-web application.
Yeah.
Okay, for non-web application, I think if we don't want it to create any no, again not sure about that, not sure about that because I've never created one.
Okay. How you will integrate Hibernate with Spring Boot?
So Hibernate as in Spring Boot, what we just need to do is we need to have one configuration for file for the Hibernate. That is one thing which will basically give us, as in now we can actually add into application dot the username and password what we wanted to add it, that we will be adding into the XML file, and for configuration related thing we will have one configuration file. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and we can use the same method for the methods which we have. Sorry, we can use the same configuration class object wherever we wanted to call the Hibernate methods.
Okay. 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 So fine. Can you just tell me some of the annotations that you used in Hibernate, popular
So
annotations?
popular annotation is one is at the rate request body,
Mm-hmm.
sorry, response body. Then the second one is what we say as at the rate auto wire. Then we have at the rate component at the rate bean.
I'm asking about Hibernate. I'm not
Oh,
asking about
sorry,
the Spring Boot.
Hibernate I have not worked much on because in my previous organization I have started working. We were migrating to Hibernate, but
Mm-hmm.
like for 2 or 3 months only I have worked, so I have not very much aware about the Hibernate one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you worked on Spring Data JPA?
JPA, no, no, no. We used to have this what we say as in JDBC template we used to use for the database purpose.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So that means you have used JDBC template, right?
Yes, yes,
Right?
yes.
Okay. So can you just brief me about JDBC template? What is the use of it? What is the advantage of using JDBC template?
Yeah, so JDBC template is basically inbuilt function which was sorry inbuilt module which was built by Spring itself. So if we wanted to use JDBC template, the first thing is we need to create the object for that, so that we can actually create it by the same what we do is for every class that we create the
Hmm.
bean for that by using at the rate component. So that is the first thing which
Okay.
we need to do. Then second thing is whenever we wanted to use this JDBC template, we need to auto add that class, and after that there are inbuilt functions into it. So one is a prepared statement, then there are different inbuilt functions already there, so we can use those inbuilt functions which will also include the return type as well. Just for example, if we wanted to query for list, query for map, so these are the few functions which I've already given. So we just need to pass the
Mhm.
parameters and the query, and it will give us into the same format whatever we wanted. Like in the list of customer, if we want, we can actually get it directly from that. So this is the main thing which we use in JDBC template.
Okay. How much? So you have used Oracle or something?
Yeah, I've used Oracle. Yeah.
So have you worked on stored procedures?
Stored procedures, no, no, sorry. So we
Okay.
used to have different DBA team which used to help us in writing stored procedures. So
Okay. Fine. 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 So you have little knowledge about DBA
yeah,
database.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So suppose I'm giving you a scenario. You have to just write the query for that. You have a table.
Okay,
Okay. You have a table. Suppose the student table is there, and in that student table you have that student roll number, student name, and book name.
okay,
Okay, and now I need to find the count of each book that was issued by a student. Means
okay,
you have to find out the count of each book, how
okay,
many times it is issued.
okay,
Okay, by a particular or by a student. So what will be the query for that?
okay. So one is student table and one is book table, correct?
No. There is a single table.
Okay,
In that you have three columns.
okay.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and in that three columns you you have that student name, student roll number, and student student roll number, student name, and book name.
Okay. Just give me the book name. Okay, yeah. Okay, okay, I got it. Yeah. So here select student name, comma book. Okay, we wanted to get the count, correct? Not the
Yes,
book
yes,
name.
yes, correct.
Start from, maybe student is the table name, where select student name, comma. Okay, we'll just get this group by
No, I
student.
don't need to find the student name. I just need to find the count only for each book.
For each book, as in, I didn't get it.
Means suppose book there is a student ABC.
Okay,
Okay, and books are XYZ.
okay,
So suppose student A has issued two times book X. Okay, two times Y books, two times Z books. So this is how I need to find.
okay. So you just wanted to get the count of book issued.
Yes, yes, correct.
Okay, okay, okay. Book name, just thing, comma, count. Okay, correct. Count star is okay. I think this should work for us.
You will not write book count in the with the book name instead of using star, perhaps.
Yeah, we can use count as in book name also. That can also work. Yeah, I think that will be better for the performance, at least performance
Yes,
wise.
correct. Now you're yeah, fine, fine. Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah, fine, fine. Have you worked on Maven also?
Maven, we use actually I have worked on Maven, but currently we are using Gradle here. But yeah, I have a knowledge of Maven as well.
Okay, so can you just tell me how many types of repositories present in Maven?
I'm not sure about that.
Okay. Okay. So what is the difference between Maven and Gradle? Can you just explain?
I think both the working wise as in I think it's same only as in Gradle and Maven. So I haven't seen any much difference into both of them. I'm not sure about the internal working how they work, but in both the things they actually import them libraries. There is only one thing like in Maven we have system.xml file and all this thing, but in
Mhm.
Gradle I don't think so. Those things are required because we can directly
Because see, as I have worked on Gradle and Maven both, so in my case, if you ask that what is the difference, so I must say that
mhm,
Gradle will always works for the used for the lightweight applications. Suppose
okay,
mobile application or mobile apps you are working, so
mhm,
Maven could be heavier as compared to Gradle.
okay, okay,
Okay, so
mhm,
this could be a easy way to differentiate between Gradle and Maven.
okay, okay, yeah, sure, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
because Gradle, when we use Gradle, so there is a compiler change. Okay,
mhm,
there could be a change of compiler.
yeah.
Okay, never mind. Can you just tell me some of the popular commands using in Git?
So Git, okay. So Git majorly, I think there are 4 or 5 commands which are majorly used in our day-to-day
Mm,
life. One is git clone, so that is basically for cloning the repository. Then second is git pull, so that is basically getting the latest pull from the origin. Then third one is git checkout. So git checkout is basically if we wanted to jump from one branch to another branch, that is the thing. Then fourth one is git checkout hyphen b, we use it, so that is because
mm.
if we wanted to create a branch and we want to check out, so that is the one way. If we wanted to do, we just wanted to create the branch, so that is one option is git branch is one option.
What is the difference between Git pull and Git fetch?
So I think git pull is basically used for any of the branch if we wanted to do the pull on any of the branch. So for that we use git pull, whereas git fetch is used if we wanted to not sure about git fetch. I have never used as well.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. That's all from my side, Sandeep. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, one question is like, if I get selected, what are the roles, what are the responsibilities I will be having to?
Okay, okay. So if you get selected, so when you're doing with your onboarding, so your project manager or the delivery manager will exactly brief you about what the project is,
Okay,
or the client round when you are having the second round at the client round. So on your onboarding time means
okay,
deployment on the projects, you will be briefed about exact what the project is,
okay,
and what are the roles and responsibilities you will handle.
okay, sure, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
sure.
this is I'm not exactly the concerned person about that. So what to brief me you all about, but the managers will exactly tell you.
Sure, sure, Aman. Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. So thank you very much, Sandeep. Lovely talking to you.
Thanks, Aman. Have a nice day.
Yeah, same to you.